and welcome. In today's video, I thought I'd do my best of beauty mid-year roundup for 2022. So show you some of the products that I am so glad I purchased for the first half of this year. If you enjoy that kind of content, make sure you stay tuned. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this intro a little bit different, trying some different things. As you can see, I've changed my background. You have to let me know what you think. If it's too much, let me know. I've got some lighting, that kind of stuff, but I'm still just trying to figure out how to work this quite yet. It's later at night, so of course I don't have natural lighting right now, but you know, I have limited time to record, so this is what we got. So let me know what you think. So yeah. So let's get right into this. Like I said, today's video is going to be the best of beauty for 2022 mid-year. So I'm going to show you the products that I purchased during the year and what I have really been enjoying so far and glad that I picked up. And then stay tuned because I'm also going to show you the worst of the year so far. So the products that I regret buying at this point. So that'll be part 2, so definitely stay tuned for that. But otherwise, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below, turn on all notifications, and otherwise we're just going to get right into this and show you the best of beauty for mid-year 2022. Alright, so if you watch my channel, then you know that I'm not really big into primers. It's not that I don't think they do anything, because there are some that I do feel for certain purposes do make a difference, but honestly, for the most part, I just forget to do primers. It's just a step that I don't think about majority of the time because I'm usually either getting ready in a hurry, just not thinking about that. So I don't have really any primers that really stood out to me. I've tried some, but I can't say that I'm like, oh yes, I love this primer, I'd recommend it, that kind of thing. So I'm going to skip primers and we're going to go right into foundation. So I had trouble narrowing down. I don't know if there's a certain number that you're supposed to pick, but I have some that are 3, some that are 4 in the categories. So I just went with what I loved, and then, you know, so be it. Do what you want with it. But for foundations, some of my top foundations for the years, I do love the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation. Mine is in L5 Fiji. I do love this foundation. I do feel like it's lightweight. It does smooth the skin. I do feel it sets well, it feels natural. It is a little bit dry, so depending on, you know, your skin type, I do have dry skin with, you know, combo in the T-zone, but for the most part, I still just feel this sits really, really well, and even for setting pretty quickly and not feeling wet to touch, it still gives a nice radiance, which is what I really like about it. So definitely one of my top foundations of mid-year 2022. Another one that I really have enjoyed is Makeup Forever HD Skin. This is the newer foundation, obviously, that came out, you know, late winter, spring. Mine is in 1N14. I have to say, I've never really been a fan of Makeup Forever. Their foundations, they've never really worked for me, but this is the first one that's really worked well for me. It sets really, really nice in the skin. It feels skin-like, and that's really what's important for me. I like lightweight foundations. I don't like anything heavy, cakey. I don't want to feel like I'm wearing layers of makeup. So for me, this works really, really well. It blurs the skin. It sets really, really nice. It's lightweight. It lasts a good amount of time. It just checks all my boxes. I really have enjoyed this foundation so far this year. One that's a little bit lighter as far as coverage, I do have the Lancome Skin Feels Good. This is the SPF 23 Hydrating Skin Tint Healthy Glow. Mine is in 15 Pecan. Actually a really good color match for me, and again, with the lighter weight foundations, I really, really like the way this sits on the skin. It does not feel heavy, it's not cakey, it just blends in and looks natural. It looks like my skin, so it looks like second skin. So I really appreciate that. Like I said, the color match is really, really good. It doesn't oxidize, it just sits really, really nice. I really like this, and even though it's a lighter coverage, I just feel like it wears nicely. Like as it fades and that, it's still, your skin looks natural. It doesn't look, you know, like patchy or anything. So really have enjoyed this one. Now, one that's gotten mixed reviews that I actually really like, and again, I have dry skin. I do get a little bit, I'd say combo in the T-zone. So, you know, I can get a little bit oily in the T-zone, but for the most part, my skin is pretty dry. Charlotte's Beautiful Skin, the newer foundation. I do not like the original. I've done a whole video on Charlotte Tilbury, which I'll link in here, but, you know, put in the cards. But yeah, I do not like the original or the other foundation. I forget what it's called right now, the Airbrush Flawless, I think. But I really do like this one. If you have dry skin, I do feel like this really works well for dry skin. It gives, you know, it's a little bit heavier as far as the other foundation, but it still doesn't feel heavy. It gives a nice glow. It wears really well. Again, this one and I would say the Skin Tint aren't really long lasting, but you know, for shorter days, you know, if you're going just for an outing or an evening out, that kind of thing, I think both of these are really nice, especially the Beautiful Skin. But it has worked really, really nice for my skin. So I know it's not for everybody, but it has worked well for me. So I definitely have enjoyed this foundation. All right, so the next category that I'm going to touch on is under eye concealers. So I have, again, it's really hard for me to narrow these down. I tried a lot of makeup this year. I don't even know what to say, but I picked 4, again, in this category. Probably, well, I don't want to say my least favorite, but LYS, the Triple Fix Under Eye Concealer in LN6 is probably number 4 out of these 4. So nothing wrong with it, but I just felt like the coverage wasn't quite as good. It didn't sit quite as well as these other ones, but really for the money, for the price, it's really a great option. And LYS overall, I just really enjoy their brand, so definitely highly recommend this brand. But yeah, so this was number 4 out of 4, but it's still a great option. Can't say anything bad about it. One of the ones that kind of grew on me, I wasn't sure, I didn't get all the hype at first. I actually picked it up before I even knew it went viral, was the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. Mine is in, I know it's a lighter shade. Yeah, I think it's just light. But the more I wore it, the more I could understand what people were saying. It just really, it's nice and lightweight. And somebody that has dry under eyes, it just sits really, really nice. A little bit goes a very long way. So, and it's really hard. That's the only thing I would say. It's just the mechanism, the application with the little pump on here just makes it hard to really limit the amount of product that you're getting. So I would say just be really careful, but literally I put a little dab, I put it on the back of my hand, use my finger, tap it in, and I mean literally just a tiny dab does the job. But it really has grown on me. So I would say this is definitely a good product for 2022. One of the ones that I know I've talked about before that I just didn't hear a lot of hype around, but I think is really good, is the Item Beauty Under Eye Concealer. Mine is in 200. It's called the Air Hug Concealer. But yeah, I have to say, other than the applicator and just the fact that there's really not a way to get the product off really well, like the stopper just isn't, I don't know if it's missing or if it's just not strong enough, I don't know. But anyways, it's messy, but literally just a little bit goes a long way. For my dry eyes, it works really, really well. The color match is really good. It's just been a really good product. And again, for the amount of product that you get for the price, literally these are the same price, but this has double the product that this does. So honestly, I mean, I'd go with the Item Beauty. The LYS is good, but you're getting more bang for your buck with Item Beauty. So yeah. Now, this is more expensive, but my favorite, my top of these 4 is the Dior Forever Skin Correct. Now this, the moment I tried it, I was like, oh, it felt so creamy, so nice. It didn't crease, you know, as much as some of the other ones do. You know, even there was a tiny bit of creasing, I want to say, but I dabbed it out and then put just a little bit of powder over it, and then I didn't have any other problems. So it's really nice under the eyes. It has good coverage. I mean, I just have nothing but good things to say about this. And mine's in 1.5N. I think that's 1.5, but yeah, so, but I really, really like this concealer. This is my top one out of the 4. So highly recommend. It's the most expensive of the 4, but it's, to me, well worth it. So, you know, so those are my concealers. All right, now a category kind of by itself, I guess, kind of goes with the foundations, but it is a powder. One that kind of grew on me that I was surprised, I didn't really think much of it at first, but then I just noticed some of the days I was putting other foundations on and either they didn't have as good of coverage or it just felt like the look wasn't finished. What I did was put the e.l.f. This is the Camo Powder Foundation. Now again, you do have to watch the shade matching. I feel is very difficult. It's very hard to find the right match. I mean, I think I have 4 of these now because I was trying to find the right color. Anyways, but this one I have here is Light 240W. I don't know if this is the best color match for me. I do have one in 210 neutral, I think it is. So between the two, I've kind of gone back and forth, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this, but every time I would apply this, you know, after not being sure about the look, you know, like it doesn't look quite finished, doesn't look, you know, as smooth as I'd like. I put this on and I don't know what it is, but it just smoothed it out. The look, my skin just looked beautiful. I don't know, but I don't know what is in this. I don't know what it is, and I'm sure it won't work for everybody, but for me, I was highly impressed with this, and especially for the price, I highly recommend the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. So, and again, I've got several shades. Again, I was trying to figure out, I'd say that's the only downfall, or, you know, negative I would have to say, is the shade matching and amount of shades. So, but yeah, but other than that, I really, really like it. So that was my powder foundation, the only one at this point for mid 2022, which I'm not a big powder foundation person, but it worked really well for me. Now for other powders, again, I don't know what it is with me in a number 4, but most of my categories have at least, or have like 4 that I chose. So 4 powders, I've got some loose powders and I've got a pressed powder. Some of the loose powders, Rare Beauty. This one really grew on me, and this is in the color Light, the loose setting powder. Now, for some reason, I don't know, at first I was kind of like, I don't know, but I kept using it, and I really, really like it. It's lightweight, it finishes the look, but it doesn't look powdery, it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look dry. It just, I don't know, it's met all the requirements for me, so I've really enjoyed that. So I have to say I'm very, very pleased with that. Now the other one that I actually have to say I like just a little bit more, I feel like a little bit smoother, it just really sets well, it just makes my skin look as flawless as it can, is the Say, and this is the Air Set in Translucent. Now this one, there is less product. It is a smaller package, so you're getting more for your money. As far as Rare Beauty, I mean, if you look at that packaging, this is probably half the amount or close to. But I really do like the finish of the Say a little bit more than the Rare, but the Rare Beauty is definitely still a great choice, a great powder. All right, now as far as loose powders, probably the top of my list, and again, this is one that kind of grew on me too. At first I was like, whatever, you know, I don't know what the hype is about it, but this Givenchy in Voile Rose, I guess is what mine is. It's number 3. It is for light skin tones. Something about this, and I don't know if it is the 4 different powders in one, but the idea is you just kind of turn it upside down, tap a little bit into the lid, use the puff to, you know, push it around. But I don't know, every time I've used this, the way my skin looks afterwards, I'm like, oh my gosh, it just looks porcelain. It just looks flawless. Like this, I don't know, there's some magic in this powder. It's expensive. Now I got mine on sale. It is expensive, but it is a great powder, so I do recommend it. Now another one that's really, really expensive, again, I can't recommend it to everybody because of the price, but I have really enjoyed this, is the Westmin Atelier, and this is the Vital Press Skincare Powder. Now mine is in Translucent, but this packaging, I mean, just the whole experience itself, I mean, this packaging is just amazing. I mean, that is like a weight, like this is like a paperweight, so I don't know what to say. And now it's little, there's not a whole lot of product in there, but man, there's something about this that it just feels really nice on the skin. Now I have found lately, I have not really been setting my under eyes. I've just found that, you know, at my last step, or like, you know, during the process of putting my makeup on, when I'm putting my loose powder, or like say the e.l.f. Camo, you know, powder foundation, when I'm putting those on, I'll put a little bit extra, you know, put a little bit towards my under eyes, but I have not been really setting my under eyes by themselves. But this is one that I feel comfortable using on my under eyes. Other than that, like I said, I've just been keeping things pretty just plain and low-key, just because I find that with too much powder, I have dry under eyes as it is, so if I put too much powder, I just feel really dry, and I just notice that kind of like, you know, separation and just like dry, powdery look. So I have been avoiding, you know, putting too much powder around my under eyes, but that has worked really well, so definitely recommend that. Again, based on the price, use your own judgment, but I personally really have enjoyed it. All right, so my next category is bronzers. I have some powder bronzers, but mostly like cream bronzers, but starting with the powder bronzers, the L'Oreal Infallible 24 Hour Fresh Wear. I really have enjoyed this bronzer. It is in the shade 250 Light. I took this on vacation with me, so I did recently a video of my travel makeup bag. But yeah, this came with me. I think it worked really, really well. I would say for the drugstore, it is a little bit more pricey, but I still think it's well worth it. I recommend it, and I'm glad I found it. It's been kind of a staple in my makeup routine lately, so definitely recommend that. Now, other powder bronzers is the M Cosmetics. This is the Corset bronzer in Slip. Again, just a very smooth, soft matte bronzer, but it just blends so nicely, goes really well, you know, just blends in with the skin. I've really enjoyed it. It lasts a while, and again, M Cosmetics is just a brand that I really stand by, that I really enjoy, so definitely recommend. Now, a category that I didn't know quite where to put this is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Perfector. Mine is in light medium. Mostly what I've been doing though is using the bronzer part of this. So I don't know how much different it is from the actual bronzer that he had separately, the powder bronzer, but that is mostly what I've been wearing. So I use the enhancer and then I set it with this bronzer. The overall powder, I did use it once. It did seem to have a nice effect, but I feel like I should have gotten a shade lighter. So I should have gone with the light for this powder, but still kept the light medium for the enhancer. But overall, I still like this powder. I think it's really, really nice. There is something about it that I do feel like it smooths the skin. So I've enjoyed it. I'm glad I have it. And like I said, I do wish I had picked a different color, but overall, I'm still happy with it. So now in the cream bronzer category, I do have a few here. It was really hard to narrow these down to. Oh my gosh. Now this one, I didn't quite know where to put. The Makeup by Mario, like I just talked about, the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. Mine is in light medium. There is something about this. It really does just smooth the skin. It just looks more, I don't know, it just looks nice. Like it's just a nice product. I don't know. There is something it does to the skin. It does smooth. It just gives a nice little bit of definition to the skin. I really have enjoyed this. I really do recommend it. I like it. So, and it's a little bit different than some of the other products. So one of the things I've really enjoyed, I'm so glad I was able to pick it up when I did, because at least the last I checked, it looked like it was still out of stock. I don't know, but is the Rare Beauty Bronzer Sticks, and I do have Power Boost and Happy Soul. I do like both of them. It just depends on the time of the year. If I've got a little bit of a tan, if I'm a little bit more pale, you know, wintertime. But I really have enjoyed these. I'm so glad I picked them up. They've really been a staple in my makeup routine. So definitely enjoy those. Now, more recently, I did pick up the Lys Bronzer Sticks, and I'm so glad I picked these up too. These are creamy. They blend very, very easy. I don't know. I keep going with the Harmony one because I do feel like the undertones of that one I do like a little bit better. But I feel like the overall tone, or like, you know, the depth of the Motivate one is probably more what I should be using, but I just kind of go in with a light hand and mix the Harmony up, just blend it really well. But they blend very, very easily. They just give a nice radiance. They make the skin look good, and for the price, I just feel like you can't beat it. So I really enjoy Lys. Definitely recommend the brand overall. And then the last one here is the Charlotte Tilbury, the Beautiful Skin Sunkissed Glow Bronzer. Mine is in 2 medium. There is something about this. It just is smooth. It's really, really nice. I am so glad I picked it up. It is pricey. I know it's not for everybody, but I'm glad it's in my makeup routine. So I've really, really been enjoying this. I really do like it. So yeah, something about it. It's just really, really nice. And one product I did forget to mention, I guess you could put it with the concealer category, but is an under eye corrector, is the Bobbi Brown Stick Corrector. I got mine in Light Bisque, which is a little bit of a pink tone. I do find that when I use it, it is really nice. It doesn't require a whole lot, but you know, those days when you got a little bit of purple, reddish, you know, under eye discoloration, it just really does help to minimize that, and then you need a little bit less concealer. So I'm glad I found this. I think it really works well. I do like the mechanism of application. I like that it's a stick, just very easy to apply. Don't have to use your finger or anything else, and then blend it out very easily. So I do recommend this. I didn't know what category. I guess it could have gone with concealers, but I forgot to put it in there. So, but I do like this product. Have enjoyed it. So the next category is blush. Now, blush is one of my favorite things, so this was really hard to narrow down. So I'm going to talk about some powder blushes, and then I've got some cream blushes, liquid blushes. I don't know how I want to categorize all this, but the first thing I'm going to go over is the Bare Minerals bronzers. Yes, I'm so glad I picked these up. I have all three colors: Kiss of Pink, Kiss of Copper, and Kiss of Rose. Kiss of Rose is probably the one that I've used the least. Kiss of Pink, I would say, is probably the one I've used the most, but I really do like Kiss of Copper. So it has a little bit of that peachy kind of, you know, golden undertone. So depending on, you know, if you're doing a warm makeup look, it does really go well with that. So I am glad I picked those up. I think they work really well. I don't know about the bronzer part. Like, I don't really consider it a bronzer, but I do like the radiance it gives to the skin and the undertone it has. So I do like it. Now, another powder one here I have, which, I mean, I've talked a lot about, is M Cosmetics, the Heaven's Glow. I more recently picked up the Cherub and the Persimmon. This Cherub one, though, is really, really nice for this time of the year in that pink, like bubblegum pink color that's like really popular right now. This is just a really nice option. I love the way these look. They give a nice radiance. They last a long time. They apply very easily. Now, some of them are really pigmented. Some of them, you know, require a little bit of building up. This one, I think, I had to build up a little bit, but I appreciate that. That's fine. So I'd rather put, have to build it up than have too much all at once. But yeah, but I really, really recommend, and I know I've talked about M Cosmetics a lot, and I definitely stand by the brand. Really enjoy them. All right, another powder, I don't know, I think it's kind of a hybrid, is RMS Beauty. I know I've talked about this recently too, the Redimension Hydro Powder Blush. This one is the original one I got in Sangria. I didn't bring them all in, but I did get, I think, all of the colors now, and I really like them. I think it gives a nice radiance. They definitely, some of them are more pigmented than others, but I just really have enjoyed this blush. I just like what the brand stands by, and this package is recyclable. You just pop out this center here. I think it pops out pretty easily. Yeah, you just pop that out. You can recycle it, or if you want to just replace it, you can, pop a new one in there. But I do appreciate that. And then I actually bought some Eye Lights cream eyeshadows from them as well. And I bought some of these directly from the brand because Beautylish, they were out of stock and I was having a little problem. They were delayed, canceled my order, and I just bought them straight from RMS, and I ended up getting a discount anyway, so it really worked out. But yeah, so I do really like, I like where the brand is going, so I really like those blushes. This one is kind of in a spot of its own. I don't really know how to explain it, but these Item Beauty blushes, I originally got the Oopsies one, is the first one I got, and I really just fell in love with it. It's like it's a cream to powder. Does that make sense? Or I don't know. Anyways, it's very, very smooth. You rub in, it's very pigmented. It goes a long way, but the formula is a little bit different than any of the other blushes I've tried before. So I went ahead online and got another color that's called It's Verify, which is a little bit more of that, kind of nude, neutral color. So yeah, so I got that. I really enjoy these. Again, I don't know what category. They're kind of like in a league of their own. I don't know how to explain it, but I really like those. One of my favorite blushes. Now, as far as cream blushes, I definitely have some. This was hard to really break it down. So one of my favorite formulas that I know I've talked about before is Rose Ink. Now, it's funny, somebody talked about this looking like a little toilet seat. Now I can't get that out of my mind, but it kind of does, But that's okay. That's all right, whatever. Anyways, I still do like the packaging, but the color, this one is Ophelia. So I had some of the other colors originally, but I did get this one for summertime. It's that nice pink color, bright, bright punchy color. But I love this formula. There's something about it. I love the way it feels on the skin. It's just radiant. It lasts a long time. They're just really, really good. So I highly recommend. I've got like probably 4 colors of those now. Definitely enjoy. Love those. Another one here that I was a little late to the game. I know these are not new, but they're new to me because I finally just picked these up. The Glossier Cloud Paints. I finally picked these up, and I don't know, I'm like mad at myself for waiting now, but better late than never. So my 2 favorite colors so far are Dusk and Storm. And what I've been doing is actually mixing these two. So I'll take a little bit, goes a very long way. I'll put a little bit on my hand, a little dab of one, a little dab of the other, mix them together, and it just gives the perfect like medium color, because that's way too dark and that's just really light. So like mixing them together is just perfect. But these two, just the color, the undertone, and these are actually the two original I got. I actually got 4 more, but like these are the 2 that I like the most. I should have just stuck with that, knowing that I like these colors. But yeah, sorry I was late to the game, but I'm very glad I have them now. So I highly recommend these. I think they're great, and they last forever. They have great pigmentation, and they just feel so nice on the skin. So now, if you're looking for a little less expensive option and something that's, you know, easier to get your hands on, I do recommend the LA Girl. These are the Soft Matte Cream Blush. This one is in Grace, but I actually picked up 2 more colors recently because I did enjoy this so much. This is pigmented. A little bit goes a long way. It is just such a nice option for the drugstore, and they last forever. I don't know what it is, but there's something about this I really, really enjoy. So again, if the Glossier Cloud Paint is, you know, a little bit more expensive, a little bit, you know, and not as accessible, I tell you, look for the LA Girl. I think those are great options. And then the last one I'm gonna talk about, because I could talk about so many more, but the Milani, the Supercharged Blush Sticks. These one really surprised me. Now my favorite color, now these are the Peach Thrill is like the one I originally got, and then I went back and I got the Spice Jolt. And I have to tell you, I meant to bring out, there's one I'm trying, maybe I did bring it out, let me check, hold on, I'll be right back, let me check. So what I've been wanting to do is I want to check and see if this one in Spice Jolt is a dupe for the new Persona Teddy. Now, this looks online, looks so dark. You would think it was like meant for a deeper skin tone, and you're like, oh no, that never would work for me. But I got this, and I really, this is my favorite of the ones that I've gotten. So this is the one from Milani, so in Spice Jolt, okay? And then Persona, and again, this is my first time testing these together, so I could be wrong, but just bear with me. Now, Milani is a little bit deeper, but I'm telling you, get this on your skin and blend it out, you won't notice a difference. I don't know. Something about when I put that on my skin and blended it out. Now again, Teddy's a little bit lighter, so I'm not gonna say it's exact like it's a dupe, but there's something about the one that Teddy, or the one in the Milani one. Once you put it on your skin, because it is a little bit lighter, it's supposed to be more of a wash of color versus like a true deep, you know, bold color, that once you blend that out, I swear, when I put it on my skin, I really thought it looked just like Teddy. I was waiting to do this. So again, so if you have, or you've been looking for Persona, look for Milani, the Supercharged, and it is in the color Spice Jolt, which is described as a brown online, but I'm like, I don't know about that. It doesn't look brown to me. And I'm glad I just took the plunge and just got it anyways, even though I was a little discouraged by the way they described the color. Anyways, but yeah, so I really recommend, I really like the Milani ones. Now I like the Persona 2, but it's too soon to, you know, because that's for the second half of 2022, so stay tuned. All right, I think we're getting there. Whew. All right, highlighters, here we go. All right, so the next category is highlighters, which you will be happy to know I do not have as many. I've not been as into highlighters. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's just not been a trend lately. I don't know. But I do have a couple of cream or liquid highlighters, and then one powder one. So starting with the powder one, now I haven't had this all that long, but I can tell you just by my initial use and you know, just how I feel about it, that I know it's a good one. It's a House Labs, and this is the Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter in Sunstone. Now, this is the second to lightest color, I think. I think there's like a silverish color, which I'm like, I don't know. That not for me though. But this was one that was like closer to one that I could wear. But there is something about this, the way it feels, it's just really nice. It doesn't emphasize any texture. It just looks really nice on the skin. Yeah, so I don't know what it is, but it just has a really nice soft, it gives you that glow from within look. And so I really like that, because I'm not really into blinding highlights right now like it used to be. So isn't it funny how times change? But anyways, the next one I'm going to talk about, I'll save my favorite for last, is the Burt's Bees, the Luminizer. This is in, I feel like I want to say Spotlight. I don't know why, but that just is Starlight. Sorry, I knew it was something light. So yeah, so I've really been enjoying this one. I don't use as many like liquid highlighters, so I don't know. I just find that, you know, by the time you put all your other products over top, you've kind of lost all the luminosity, but I guess there's still some that radiates through. But so yeah, so I'm not like, you know, crazy about liquid highlighters, but of the ones that I've tried, I really do like this one, and especially for the price, I really have enjoyed it. Now, my number one, which again, you got to catch it quickly when it's actually back in stock, is the Flower Beauty. These are the Spotlight highlighters, and I have Opal and Gleam, and both of these are just, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. They're just beautiful, and I would definitely say that these are a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just going to put both of these side by side. And you do have to watch because I accidentally squeezed one out the last time and I squeezed way too much, but that radiance, oh, so pretty. So you put this on top, you know, put this down and put that House Labs on top. Oh my gosh, beautiful. So anyway, so those are my top 3 highlighters at this point for mid 2022. All right, so I didn't know whether to really put this in its own category or to put it together, but one of my favorite blush combos is Patrick Ta. This is like my number one blush of all times. And the one that I really love is, it's called She's Blushing, which I've talked about before, not new. But man, there's something about the color of this. And I was looking at a video, you know, I just kind of looking back, getting some ideas on a video. And I looked at this and I was like, what was I wearing that day? And then I saw it and I was like, yeah, it was that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I love this blush. Now some of the other colors maybe aren't quite my forte, but this one, man, there's something about that rosy nude color that just speaks to me. So I love it. Love Patrick Ta blushes, the duos. I'm not really crazy about just the powder ones, but the ones that are the cream and powder duos, I like these. And this is my favorite color, my favorite of all of them. So definitely recommend. All right, so as far as setting sprays, I've really only tried 2. I've tried the Urban Decay Vitamin C, and then the one that I really have enjoyed though is Morphe, the Coconut Bliss. Now this is just their continuous setting spray. It just has the coconut smell, but man, I love coconut. And I already liked the Morphe continuous setting spray, so the fact they had coconut, oh my gosh. So this is definitely my favorite setting spray for mid 2022, so you know. So next I'm going to talk about lips because I'm going to keep eyeshadow palettes last because, you know, that's just my favorite category. Okay, so for lips, I kept it pretty simple here. I didn't try a whole lot of like say new lip liners, but the ones that kind of stood out to me from what I did try are the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Lip Crayon in Alona. This one is just that perfect like pink nude color that I love so much. So that one is one of my favorites, and I really do love the formula. And then one that I found that I was pretty surprised I enjoyed so much is the NYX Line Loud. Now the color, I did get 3 colors altogether. This was the first one I got, was in Global Citizen, and so far this is my favorite. As far as the tone and the depth of the color, this is perfect for me. The other 2 I got were a little bit too dark, a little bit too deep for me, but this is a perfect nude. So I love those. So those are the 2 lip liners that I have to say were like my favorite for the year. Lipsticks, not that this one's new, but the color's new, is Makeup by Mario. I love his lipsticks. This is in the color Sierra, which is like a peachy nude. So that was like, you know, a new color to me. Love it. Love his lipsticks. The other one that I found that I really like is Merit. And this is in the one, I think it's Baby, which is like the pink nude. I didn't get the other one, Slip, that is really popular, but this is more of my color, that pink nude color. So nice, so nice. They feel like moisturizing. They're a little bit lightweight, kind of give you a flush of color rather than a full, like, you know, deep color effect. So yeah, or concentrated color. So I really like that, really like those. And then as far as lips, lip glosses, lip oils, those kind of thing, I tried a bunch, and I'm not going to say there are not a whole lot that I like, but the 2 that stuck out to me the most that I keep reaching for, even though this one's pricey, Givenchy in Milky Nude is one of my favorites. It just feels so luxe. It just feels so nice. Has a little bit of that tingle, you know, effect, plumping effect, but not like over the top. Really enjoy that. And then the other one, if you're looking for just a nice drugstore option of a lip oil that, you know, definitely rivals Dior and other ones, is the Milani Fruit Fetish. Now this one I have here is in Passion Fruit Coconut, which is one I tend to wear more just because it's more of a, like, you know, clear sheer color. I don't know. I have the one that's so popular. I forget the watermelon something. I don't know. It's the one that Jessica Braun's always talking about. I do have that one, but this one I reach for more just because of the lack of opacity. I like that it's like more see-through and sheer, so that I can go over any color and it won't affect your lip color. So, but those are my favorite lips right now. All right, again, one that I didn't really know what to, like, kind of where to put it. I don't know if you consider eye palette, face palette, you know, I don't know what category to put it in, but one that I am so glad that I picked up, I took on vacation with me, so glad I have it, is a Natasha Denona, the light face palette. This is just a staple. Like, there's something about this, just the fact that you can get your eye look. It has everything but a bronzer. And honestly, there are a lot of times that, you know, just a quick, no makeup day that you're not even going to use a bronzer. So this has everything you need. It's a great palette. Great quality. Love Natasha Denona. So can't say anything bad, but I'm so glad I have this. I've used it nonstop. I've used it multiple times. Like I said, took it on vacation with me. So glad I took it with me, and I would take it again. So highly recommend this. So glad I have it. All right, so other than blushes, my favorite category, actually my favorite category of all, is eyeshadows. So I try to limit these. Again, it was really, really hard. One of these is very new to me, but it's still, I could not include it because that's just how, like, amazed I was by it, the color story, the whole, anyway, so, okay. So we're gonna start with Nars, Summer Unrated. This palette really surprised me. If you know anything, the Nars Climax palette that came out in the fall is one of my top palettes. Love that palette. So when this came out, I was like, you know, I at least have to try it just based on that last palette. I bet I'm gonna love this, and I do. Now it is more warm tone, so again, depending on your looks, what you're trying to do, your outfit, that kind of thing, might be the palette to choose at that time, might not be. So I don't use this quite as much because I do find that I'm into a little bit more cooler tones, but overall, still a great palette, great quality. Love this palette. Glad I have it. Now, one that really surprised me that for the price, I was like, oh, okay. Jessica Braun had talked about it. Apparently Taylor Wynn had talked about it, but it is the Wet n Wild Always Naked palette. Got this off of Amazon for under $9. And I was truly surprised by this palette. I couldn't believe it. Now, I don't really use the glitter. I'm not really into glitter, but if I was going to, at least it's a small particle glitter. So, you know, I can let that go. I can let that slide. But there is something about these other formulas in here. They just all work really well together, and I don't know, it's a really good palette. Now the mattes are a little bit powdery, so you will have some kick up, but I mean, for the price, I mean, they still blend fine. It's not a bad thing necessarily. But yeah, I'm just really highly impressed with this palette. Now I definitely like this one over the Always Blushing palette, which I've talked about multiple times. But if you're going to choose one of them, I would recommend this one. Something about the formulas and the way the colors, the color story, it just all works. So I was very, very, very pleasantly surprised with that. All right, another one that is just a staple in my collection. Took this on vacation as well. It is the M Cosmetics Divine Skies in Rodin. Now this is, if you know anything about me, I try to do colorful looks. I try to get out of my box, but I just can't. I love my neutral palettes. I love an everyday look. Most of the time I'm getting ready and I'm even wearing makeup. I'm wearing it to work, and I'm sorry, but I'm just not somebody who's going to go with a very bright, bold eye look. It's just not, you know, what I do in my profession. So that's just who I am. So anyways, but I love a good neutral palette, and this is just one that I just love. I bought, like I've talked about recently too, I have all of the Divine Skies palettes now. I love all of them in their own way. Even the colorful bright ones, I'm like, I still can find a purpose for it. So, but this is my favorite of them all. It just has a perfect neutral undertones, whatever. So really, really like that one. Now, this I've liked from the time that I got it. I've already done a review on this as well, compared it to the original, but it's a Pactor Ta, the Major Dimensions 2, the Rose Edit, whatever it's called. This is a beautiful palette. Still stand by it, still think it's gorgeous, still think this is better than the first one. Love this palette. But again, the only reason I would say the other ones are a little bit higher up is because the color story. It's very specific. You're only going to get rosy tones, maybe a little bit warm tone neutral kind of look. But for the most part, you know, it's going to be the same tones. I still love the palette. Still think it's great. Still one of my top palettes. But, you know, again, just the limitation might bump it down just a little bit. All right, another one that I took on vacation, I stand by, I love the brand overall, is Sydney Grace. This is the Be Mine palette. I've talked about this before, talked about it in my travel bag, video. Love this palette, love Sydney Grace. And these metallics, I mean, this is just your everyday, like just a great formula. The mattes are great, the metallics, they're gonna last. They have a nice depth to them. I mean, I don't know what to say other than I just love this brand. Love it. And their Christmas in July is coming up very soon. Hopefully I'll have this up by the time it starts, but I think it's July 25th, I wanna say, through August 1st. I could be wrong. They have different sales every day, so make sure you're looking out for that. And they have a new palette coming out too, which I saw online. So I'm definitely going to pick that up. It's California something, California Dreams or California, I can't remember, but another neutral palette. I'm the neutral palette girl, can't help it, but I will definitely be picking that up and I will do a review on that. But I love Sydney Grace, I love it. Now, my favorite palette, it blew me away. It surprised me. I couldn't believe it. And I mean, I just knew, you just know. Like when you know, you know. And when I picked up this palette, used it for the very first time, used it when I was getting ready for my vacation, I was like, dang, okay, Anastasia Beverly Hills. So if you know, you know. Talking about the Nuovo palette, I think that's how you say it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what in the world, but whatever. But this palette, there is something, those are my tones. This is me. This is me in a palette. Like, I don't know what to say. I mean, you got a little bit of purple in there. You got a little bit of green in there. You got a little bit of like a peachy tone in there. I mean, you got it. It's a nice, like, muted, like, I don't know what to say. It's me. It's muted colors. That's just me. Call me boring, call me what you want, but this is me. I did, I think now 4 or 5 looks with this palette, and every time I use it, I'm like, man, I like this palette. These metallics are just nice. Oh my goodness. And they're mattes. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Anastasia might be coming back. They're warming up my heart again. I don't know what to say. They're finding that little spot in there. I don't know, Anastasia. I don't know, you got me, but I love this palette. That is my favorite palette. And again, I just got it. I mean, in mid-June, whatever that was, whenever it came. But I knew quickly, I knew that this was a winner. I knew that this was my palette. So I'm glad I have her. Thank you, ABH. But yeah, now the only kind of off-topic things that I wanted to, or I don't know if you call it off-topic, but more of like, overall like beauty stuff. My favorite fragrance of 2022 is absolutely Tom Ford Ombre Leather. I don't know how long it's been out, but I discovered it in April during the Sephora VIB sale, and that is just my favorite fragrance. I don't know what to say, hands down, that is it. That is it. Body care, I have discovered I think it's by Tree Hut. It is the Tropic Glow body butter, which is supposed to be similar to Sol de Janeiro Boom Boom Cream. Now again, if you're looking for something that is a little bit toned down version of Boom Boom Cream, where it's not quite as fragrant, I think that's a great option. But yeah, I was definitely pleasantly surprised. I really like it, especially for the price, $10-15 versus $48, whatever Boom Boom Cream is. Yeah, so that is definitely a staple there. And then I want to say maybe there was a hair care, something that I discovered, but I can't think of what it is. So if I remember that or think about it, I'll list it down below. But I want to say it was maybe, oh, you know what I think it is? The Way. Or no, is it Way? No, it's Oribe. I don't know how you say it, but man, I have to put it in here, list it, but their shampoo conditioner, I don't remember which one it is, but I'll show you down below, but I didn't bring it in here with me. But man, ooh, Luxe. But man, my hair feels so nice. I'm like, ooh, and it smells so good. And I'm like, okay, you got me. Yeah, very nice, very nice. So I might be picking that up next Sephora VIB sale. We'll see. But those were just some off-topic best of mid-year 2022 I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I think that is it. I think that wraps it up. Make sure I'm just looking at my little cheat sheet here to make sure I covered all my topics, but I think I did. I think I did good. So yeah, so I think that is it. So let me know, what was your best of 2022 mid-year? I'd love to know. Did you find any of these things were staples in your makeup routine, or you know, what you purchased this year. Do you feel differently? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you do, please leave a comment down below. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this content, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below, turn on all notifications, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. I feel so bright. Ugh. Let me see how this goes. It's gonna go. Just have to see how I like this, but man, I feel close. So close. Just to be close to you, girl. Oh, I forgot my drinks. I need those. Oh, sorry, I have to excuse the brightness. It is nighttime now and I'm just now recording, so it's gonna look a little crazy, and I'm still just figuring out my lighting and stuff. I got new lighting, so bear with me. All right, big drink. Am I in focus? I feel like I'm in focus. I think I'm okay. So if you enjoy that content, I'm gonna stick. So I really do have, I drew, what's the term I'm looking for? Oh, you know, it's eyeshadows, eyeshadow blushes. I mean, that even makes sense. Woo, okay, keep drinking. Opaque, or, you know, neutral palette, neutral underwear. Okay, do I turn that off yet, or do I do a little outro? I don't know. This light feels bright though, man. But that's the most dim I could get it. It's like 1%. Like, I hate to see 20%. Dang, blind me. But no, I'm so excited though. My background is coming together. I got my lamp, got my photos. It's looking nice. I'm excited. So let me know what you think down below. Do you like this? Yeah, let me know down below. Do you like this setup? If so, let me know. If you don't, let me know so I can change it up, go back to the old, whatever I need to do. Let me know. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye.